Hey everyone, this is Wolfran and I've got an idea to do something a little bit different. Well, not entirely different, but to also show people how difficult I think it is to get a faction cruiser. So I've got several alts, and the way people make ISK on Eve Echoes is often to use multiple different alts, but of course each of those probably needs a mega to deal with it. It's just not, it's not expensive, but it's not cheap either. It's not free to play, and you can pay more money and buy Plex and buy them that way. But I'm going to see how close I can get to, well, realistically, to buy a Phatasm. That's what I'm going to aim for, a Phatasm, 1.5 billion around that, and probably going to need 2 billion plus to fully kit it out. And we're going to see how we can progress, and I'll give daily updates as to the progress of this process. So I've already done a video on AFK delivery missions in ISK, which they're not great, but they make a little bit of this, and frankly are very safe to do because you're just not at risk of anything. So this ult, that was this ult that does that. This ult is also geared up for lasers and cruisers. That's why I'm going to aim for a Phatasm. So you can see I've got 30 million in ISK, and I've got no Plex. So as a mountain to climb. The ships I haven't got loads of ships with this one. These are the ships I've got available to me, and I started off effectively in the Omen trainer, and I've bought myself an Omen. So you're going to need a little bit of ISK to start with. I'm not going to go through all that process. You can make enough ISK to get an Omen, and Omen's not in enormous amounts of money. I'll just show you quickly. I think it's under 20 million for an Omen. No, cruisers. Omen. Apparently there's all of one Omen available. There you can buy them for 20 million. I think I bought mine for less than that. 18.5 million. So you just keep an eye out. So that's about for what you need for the Omen. That's because I'm focusing on lasers. The next step from there will be the Omen Navy issue, which is, as you can see, substantively more expensive, and that's going to depend on how quickly all this happens. Because at the moment it's relevant. I'm going to show you my skills. I'm level 6, so I can have an Omen Navy issue, and I'm 17 days to level 7. So at level 7 I might reconsider as to what ship I'm using. The aim of this is I'm going to be farming storyline anons. Now, in an Omen, I don't think I can do the harder encounters. I do have disaster relief. I have started that before the update. After the update, it is really quite difficult to deal with. So it's something we might go back to, but I've got some of these which have got time running out on them actually. So basically you can grab these encounters in here. I've got it set to advanced because it's 400 or 500,000 ISK for these, and my aim is I'm going to farm these encounter missions. I'm going to aim to get the bigger missions. If I complete, for example, Bad Hair Day, I'm going to sell it, and then I'm going to make enough ISK to buy myself an Omen Navy issue. I'm going to build from there. So at the moment it's not a huge amount. I'm going to show you the ship build for the Omen. I've already had a quick go, so I'm going to check I'm happy with it. It's beam lasers. It gives you the range you want. I'm 277. Bearing in mind I've got 2 heat sinks. So it's 4 beam lasers. They're faction. They're not the C types. If I make enough money, I'll upgrade it to the C types. If I don't, I won't. We'll just have to see what happens with that. I've got an energy Nosferatu. Frankly, I'm never in range to use it. You could swap it out for something else if you felt like it. I've not really had to use it. Same for the Webifier. I've got it, but never in range. I've even got a medium drone, a Mark V Valkyrie, but again, never in range. So that total DPS not entirely accurate because we're really going to take that away. So it's at 259, which isn't huge, not bad. Starting off with, I've got an afterburner because of the range. I'm going to have to go around and get the loot. You are going to want to collect the loot. You do drop more loot, you can sell it. I'm operating out of Jita, so I get pretty decent prices. Armour repairer. Frankly, if I'm heading into armour and I'm having problems, you just warp out to a station. and then 2 heat sinks to increase DPS. My couple of experiences so far, I could even take the armor repairer off, frankly, and put on a 3rd heatsink. I don't know whether it's worth it or not, because of course the penalty each time reduces the effectiveness. In terms of rigs, I did buy. No, I didn't buy. I thought I was going to buy them, but I didn't buy them actually. These are all the free ones that you get with the daily rewards. So I've got a laser aerator prototype, I've got a collision accelerator prototype, and I've got a capacity control circuit and a semiconductor memory cell. So that just helps with the capacity trying to keep it stable when I'm using lasers, and that just increases damage. That's all I'm looking at. Keep it simple, and let's go to one of these encounters before we run out of time. Doesn't really matter if I run out of time, I'll just refresh and grab them. I've already completed these ones. For example, here Soldier's Way, I need the main one here. But I'll just go demonstrate really sort of how easy it is to get started out here, and the sort of amounts you can expect now with the recent update to be receiving from just doing these bits and pieces. So I've arrived here at the Cosmic Anomaly, straightforward. Don't just confirms that jump warps you into 0, and that can get you in some difficulty. These ones, you don't get any, well, I don't get close enough that there's any problems with scramblers. Sometimes get a web or two if they get too close for me, but they're pretty straightforward. So if you just go to your Cosmic Anomalies, there it is, Children's Educational Materials, I just really warp in at about 40. So this one, there are stations if I need to warp out. Again, I've not experienced warp scramblers in these missions yet. The bigger storyline ones do have them, but it's straightforward. My aim here is to try and get through these as quick as possible, but what you'll find there is E-War now with the new update, and what I want to target, I wait for them to lock me, because I'm looking for one of these blackbirds is going to have E-War and use it, and I want to take it out first, because that's the one that increases damage, and there it is. Focus fire, orbit, everything kicks off. I probably hit the heat sinks too early, should have been closer, but yeah, it's alright. It's not bad with the heat sinks on. Oh, it's just turned off. We'll have a look at it in a moment when I get the heatsink next time round. What we aim to do is take out this E1. The reason is, in fact, this one's using guidance disruption. Sometimes it has a different one. The target painters, those particularly you want to be careful of. The guidance disruption is not going to affect me. They're going to start to hit. I think I've got my orbit set. Should be set to 24. Boost to the afterburner. Actually, I want to switch, and then after I take out the E-Wall Blackbird, I'm actually going to start targeting the destroyers. Destroyers and frigates, get rid of them. With this, because my optimal range is 23.76, I just orbit at 24. It's absolutely fine with the beam lasers. It means I keep out of range of webs, keep out of range of anything serious. Not that I've really come across it. And I can just carry on. As you'll see, I can actually, once I'm into this pattern, I don't need the afterburner. Yeah, I've taken a fair bit of damage to the shields, which doesn't always happen. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, which is absolutely fine. If it goes into armour, I can pop the armour repairer. That will start to eat into the capacitor a bit, as my skills aren't all that high for the armour repair, which I will increase. At the moment, I've got very good skills in lasers, which is why I'm getting quite a lot of damage in cruisers. In fact, I could probably take my outfit for a second and show you. So in cruiser technology, I've got cruiser from 4.5 in cruisers, 4.5 in afterburner. Capacity is important, but I'm actually only 4 in engineering, so we'll do advanced cruiser engineering soon. In lasers, I am 5.4 and 4 going on to 4.4, so 4-3 at the moment, and I've got a lot more in shields than I've got in armor operation. That's ultimately because certainly I've been doing stuff between the two. But yeah, so you can just build up. But again, if you're getting into armor like I am here, just pop the armor repairer. It's fine. If you use the heat sinks, you will find it does affect your capacitor more. Again, it's not a serious problem. So if I just pop both of them, just to demonstrate, and then I'm getting 414 when both are active, and they're active for 21 seconds, so it's not bad. And then basically I can just do this. Same thing again, this time it's different. It's the Pythium, the mowers and the caracals, which is certainly a bit tankier. We'll lock them all on, but I'm going to wait for which one's going to deploy the E-War. And it's one of the mowers, but it's not one that I'm going to worry about. And we'll just engage the Korax. So in the order here, I'm going to deal with the Korax first. I'm going to deal with the Caracal next, and then I'm going to deal with the mowers. So the damage is pretty good at this range. It doesn't take a huge amount of time. I generally find for the 500,000 ISK encounters, I think, and we'll see in a moment, it's 3 waves, 4, 4 and then 6. And I think for the 400,000 ISK encounters, it's 3, 3 and 6. All very doable. And I reckon between the bounties, the reward for the encounter and the loot, you can make
warp drive
somewhere
active.
around the 1.5 million an encounter. And I have been recording the whole thing, so I'll tell you how long it takes in the end. And sometimes you'll find, and we'll see if it happens on the next wave, you'll find one of the destroyers might have a micro warp drive, which is also generally E-War destroyer that might have webs. The problem with loot, the problem. Let's really watch what happens. The problem with this method, which is so far out, you can't loot as you kill them, so you have to loot at the end, which does slow you down a little bit. It's Pythium mower, which again they're not modules which are going to affect me at the range I'm operating, so I'm going to take out the Manticore first. This time I'm not going to pop the heat sinks until I'm closer. In fact, this is a mower that's going in pretty close, so if he gets too close and he starts bothering me, I might switch targets to him, but I certainly want rid of the frigate. Just between, I mean, beam laser's got a damage buff and a tracking buff, which helps. But certainly you've still got to be careful with the frigates. I probably should have just burnt him. I have no doubt, and if you've got any suggestions as to how I can do this quicker with this build, by all means, let me know in the comments. Because, you know, I'm putting this stuff out there, but I'm not saying there aren't better ways or quicker ways to do it. But I think because Eve Echoes is, for a mobile game, really complex, part of the reason I like it. but there are loads of different ways to approach things, and it also depends on how you want to do it. You might want to have a brawler, you might want to be right in the middle of everyone, and tanking it out. I've tried that. Sometimes I'm okay with it, but I really feel like I want to do that in a ship I know is not going to have problems. So this mower's come in really close. I'm going to target him and get away from him a little bit. I could even notice him. Oh, my web of fire is no longer of any use. But as you see, you really don't get out of shield. I mean, we had that little moment where we did get into armour a little bit, and the armour repairer worked to deal with that. I mean, you could. I mean, I do have armour hardeners, but I just never felt I needed them. Not in these ones, anyway. It might be when you get onto the bigger ones, you do need something like that to tank it all a bit. And my aim here was really just try and get through these as quickly as possible. They don't pay a huge amount, but you're not going to be ganked. That's one of the main things. You're not going to be sitting out in null sec or low sec, and someone's going to jump in and take you out. You get a reward, you get the bounties, you get a bit of loot. It's not, it's fine. So I'm going to see, and I'll keep you updated as to using this technique and the technique in terms of the deliveries when I can't be as active on the game with this. To show you how much ISK I make. First target is the probably heatsink, take that off. The first target is going to be the Omen Navy issue. The reason is that's going to give me, if I just orbit that moment, the Omens. So Omen Navy issue. The reason is you'll get an extra high slot which automatically gives you 25% more damage than the Omen. You're going to get bonuses to the capacitor. Bearing in mind your lasers need to be significantly up in terms of skills, and so do your advanced cruise command skills for all these things. And it's just a tankier, better ship. So it's certainly, I'd recommend. It is a lot more money, but hopefully I'll get there quite quick, and that will then improve the speed that you can do this. And the whole point then is that as I update this, we'll look at what ship I can go to next in tier 7, with the aim that I'm going to go for the Phatasm with this ult, with a view to running storyline, keeping in high sec. My main other ults are all part of the corporation out in null sec. This one, my aim is to build it up so I can make regular ISK doing the storyline missions, and that's the plan. So we'll just finish off this, we'll grab the loot, have a look at what we got, and sort of figure out roughly how much we make. I think it's about 1.5 million. It does vary, it's a bit of RNG as to the loot that you get, but the bounties are about the same. I think I end up with about 600,000 ISK with the bounties. You get the reward, which is 500,000. Obviously, that's going to be minus tax, and then of course whatever you can sell the mods for that you pick up. Some of them are great, sell for a little bit, and some of them are absolute trash, sell for nothing. The alternative is you could up your reprocessing skills, and you certainly have to up your reprocessing skills. I'd recommend it to at least get them to 5.4 or higher, so that you can then reprocess any of the scrap effectively, rather than selling all the mods into minerals and sell the minerals. Especially if you're operating out of one of the ITCs, you'll sell them for the minerals for a decent amount, and you can make it that way as well. I'm not going to bother because I don't want to waste the skill points. So that's that done. Is it? I suspect it's not giving me the reward because it ran out of time. My fault. but you would have got, I would have got 500,000. Just scouting on here, but there's never any point because as soon as you go into them, someone else will just grab the boxes with a cloaked covert ops or something. Loot, that's what we want. This is what I have the afterburner for, really, is to cook up the loot. Even with the afterburner on, you're not really fast, you're just faster than you were, because otherwise it'll take a while to do this as well. So from leaving Jita to now starting the loot, it's been 25 minutes. I've cut the video, so it's not as long, so you have to watch all of that. We'll grab the loot, we'll have a look at it. I'll cut back now and then show you once I've picked up all the loot what there is, and then what I would normally do is I'd have multiple encounters in the same area. I'm running Kaldari ones mostly at the moment, so you can see I've got one there I can take, which is only one jump away, no problem, I'll have that. You can take these ones that are non-storyline missions as well, that's fine. I'm generally not going to trek out too far because it's all about time. I've done all these, so if I got one of the big ones I'd probably go out and do it. Equally, if you're operating out of Minmatar and Mar or Galente space, by all means focus on those ones. At the moment I'm focusing on these ones, so I'm just going to grab those ones, grab the loot. Okay, so that's the last wreck. Hold's not that full. Now here it says that's worth 5 million ISK what I've picked up. It's not. The medium missile launcher in itself for a little bit. 40,000. The Rapids were selling for a stupid amount of money before the nerf. Yeah, it's just not bad actually. You probably get 200,000. May even get a bit more for them. They were selling it for 400s. There's two of those, so that's not bad. The adapters and all this stuff is not. It's not worth 4 million. Yeah, 60,000. So none of this is worth a lot. The ancient remains, you can even sell those, which I do. I think they're worth about 10,000. But yeah, I'll build it up and then just do. I'll sell it off, and that's absolutely fine. And that makes you a little bit extra, you know, on top of the mission reward and on top of the bounty reward, which we can see we just got there at 765,000. So that plus the 500,000 you get, which I can't do maths awesome, is 1.2 million. It's about a million plus whatever you pick up. So you know, sometimes it's a bit better, sometimes a bit worse. And what I'll do is basically I won't go back to wherever. I'll just go move on to the next one. That's one jump away. That's two jumps, so I'll do the closer one. Rinse and repeat. So that's where we're at. So as I said, we were at 30 million. We're now at 31 million. This is where we're at. So we need to get at least to 60 odd million just to buy the Omen Navy issue. 75 million probably to buy an Omen Navy issue, and then it'll be on top of that kitted out. I've got a lot of the stuff. You'll strip it off this Omen and then buy a few extra things and upgrade it from there. So thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, let's see, you know, I'll give you regular updates as to the progress on this and see how the grind goes towards a faction cruiser, a Phantasm, which, you know, even on the cusp of Tech 8 and for others, and battleships now seems, faction battleships seems cheap at a couple of billion, because I suspect those are going to be 10 billion plus. Right, sorry, that's me waffling on. Thank you very much for watching to this point. Leave me a like, subscribe. Any comments or questions, by all means, put them down in the comments, and check out the other videos. Thanks a lot. Bye.